Hey, here we go. Y'all ready to party on again? Okay. Let's do this. Okay. This is going to be another Corona video here, and this is going to I'm going to a little chin wag here about the fear mongering and trying to stay grounded during this particular time that's going on at this particular moment. What I have found initially right off the bat here is staying away from the news, if you will, hasn't really worked all that well for me. I like to be in touch with what's going on at the moment. I guess I'm a weird duck, all right? Because when I see what's going on in the world, that's when I get my best stuff. I don't know. I guess the thing what I'm saying here is this is one of the things that a lot of people, especially in the spiritual community, especially when going through these experiences, are going to have to develop is vision, all right? And it depends on how you look at things. For me personally, when I look around and I see what's happening, yes, there are a lot of people that are dying from this coronavirus. Yes, there are a lot of people that are dying from the flu. Yes, there are a lot of people dying from heart attacks and from cancer and blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on and on. People die here every day. But what they don't do is shut down the whole planet because it's happening. They don't do that. So what I do is I take a look at the news. I take a look at the body count. And then I'll go and I'll make comparisons with other situations of what's going on. And these could be people's loved ones, families, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers. And I look at the situation. And what I always try to do is to see from an evolutionary point of view. This is a suggestion I'm going to make. When you see a situation that's going on like it is right now, with all of the stuff that's going on around you, the one thing that you're going to see every time, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've noticed this. If there's any bad news or any negative thing or destructive thing or chaotic thing going on the planet, you're going to hear it on the news. All right? Keep in mind that the media is nothing more than a social squawk box and sensationalism, over-reporting, overkill that borders on the ridiculous at times. And I mean, who really gives a shit if a movie star has coronavirus and they make, I mean, it's ridiculous. Tom Hanks and his wife have got coronavirus. Well, whoop-de-fucking-do. Who cares? I mean, that's just totally ridiculous. Because he's a star, he has to have his name in an article in the CNN thing or on the news. I don't get it. That's sensationalism. It's ridiculous. So even on the local news in your local town or your local city, all you're going to hear is all of the negative stuff that's going. Very rarely do you ever hear any good news. Okay, good news is bad for business. All right, bad news is what everybody likes to hear, or so they think. In actual fact, everybody is trained to listen to bad news. So you have an option. You can turn the TV off and just go through what's called pretendism. And pretend as everything's wonderful and everything's beautiful and live in a fairyland created all by yourself. Or you can give yourself a reality check and compromise and develop something that we're all going to have to do, but a lot of us don't have it because it's been so lost too. It's called vision. People of vision with a complementary personality that matches it, of a higher vibration and frequency, can see, sense, and feel into a situation and see things very differently from perception. And this is what is taking place at this particular point with a lot of people. When the party that asked me to do this about the coronavirus, many of you have children, and I get it, all right? And it's especially difficult right now because, as a rule, children are children, kids are kids. And what happens is basically kids don't understand. And all they care about is playing whatever they do. All right, so look at it from this way. Most of you that are parents understand that once the children come into physical reality, life as you knew it is over. It's never the same after that. Your status, your freedom, and all of the things that you experienced before that are gone for as long as the children are with you. Life as you knew it is over. Let me make this statement, and let me be clear on this point so that everybody can wrap your head around this. As of the manifestation of the coronavirus on the earth plane in every country, except one, I think, every country, let me be clear on this. Life as you knew it is over. That I can guarantee you. Life as you knew it is over, and it is never going to return to the way it was. It can't. If it does, we're dead. It's only a matter of time. Because what's happening is this now is a situation where you have the opportunity to develop vision. What I mean by vision is to take your evolutionary process that you're up to at this particular point and begin seeing, because now you have time, more time than you've ever had before. Instead of looking for things that you can do to entertain yourself. So here's the issue, okay? You know, it's really funny. We do react to our programming. Everybody's big concern right now is what are they going to do with all this time on their hands? So they're looking for means to entertain themselves. Of course, you got Netflix, you got to take care of the kid. But what are we going to do with all this time, man? I mean, what are we going to do? I mean, we can't have sex all day long. What are you going to do? So once you get the kids and you keep them busy doing something, what are you going to do when you do have some time? Because most of us have been programmed. I want you to really dig into this part. I want you to really see how much you've been programmed. The more you're looking right now in this situation for means to not get cabin fever, not get bored, the more programmed you have been for years. If you're looking for continual entertainment and whatever, you've got a problem. If you're in your apartment and you're sitting there, well, what am I going to do? Find something to do. Here's what I suggest. Take your wallet out, or your purse. Take your wallet out, your purse, right now, do it. Take out your driver's license. Got a picture of you on it? Okay. Look at the name on it. You can shut the TV off. You can turn off Netflix for a moment. Put your beer down, or your glass of wine. Pay attention to what I'm saying. Take your driver's license. Look at the picture. Then look at the name on it. See that? That name? That's you. That's you. Here's my question to you. Look at the picture in the name and then say to yourself, who is this person? Who is this person? I'm being serious here. I'm not joking. This is what this is all about right now. What's happening? Who is this person I'm looking at? Who am I? And ask yourself this question. Why am I the way I am right now? Why am I suffering from cabin fever? Why am I looking for things to constantly entertain myself? Because that's what you've been trained and cloned and programmed to do. The system doesn't want you to know who you are. The system only wants you to produce and react to the new stimulus of the next thing that's going to make you feel entertained, because that's where you've been programmed. So you now have the opportunity to get to know who you are. And better yet, you get time now to actually look at how you think and react in a given situation. So let me make another suggestion. Close your eyes. Right now. Yeah, right now. Close your eyes. Now say to yourself, who am I? Where am I going? What am I going to do for the rest of my life? Think about that. Really think about it. You're probably going to get some fears and doubts. Because what's happening right now is a lot of you are so concerned. What are we going to do for food? What are we going to do for money? What are we going to do about our job? And that's all you're thinking about. And that's all you're thinking about. And as you're thinking about that, what are you doing? You're setting yourself up. You're setting yourself up. What do you mean, Mel, I'm setting myself up? The more you go into the fear mode, the more you go into the panic mode, the more you think about, oh my God, what about my job? Oh my God, what about my family? Oh my God, I got all these bills I have to pay. Oh my God. And every time you say, oh my God, you're making a request, okay? You're making a request, whether you know it or not. What am I going to do about the mortgage payment? So every time you do that, you're verbalizing it. And when you're verbalizing something, it's because you're seeing it. You cannot think without seeing it. If you're seeing it and verbalizing it, then guess what you're doing? Immediately, there's an effect within the belly, the emotional body. The emotional body gets all stirred up. It gets anxious. It gets uncomfortable. It gets uneasy. This, in turn, improperly digests the food that you've eaten. You get the burps, the shits, the gas, and all the rest that goes along with it. Not to mention suddenly the whole lymphatic system doesn't function anymore. You're not getting any oxygen into the body. It's beginning to wrinkle up like an old used condom, if you will. You like that one? All right. I should get a chuckle out of a couple of you. And then suddenly what happens is you really don't feel good. And guess what happens? You are now in the perfect vibration, the perfect field of energy, the perfect attraction vibrational energy to bring coronavirus to you and manifest it in your body. If you're in a high vibrational state of mind, yes, you may have to work at it to stay there a little bit. But the more the system dictates to you fear, anxiety, concern, the more susceptible you are to this virus. And most of you are doing it right freaking now. Stop doing that. Stop thinking like you're part of this system. Stop thinking the way you've been trained and brainwashed to do. Start thinking about who are you? Where are you going? How can you make the best of this situation at this time for yourself and everyone's around you? If you have children at this particular point in time, the one thing that I've learned about children in all of the years that I've been doing counseling in regards to relationships, I have seen countless times where parents will do pretendism in a relationship that's falling apart just for the sake of the children. And these children can be 2, 3, 4 years old. You know what? Don't waste your time. Children are not stupid. They are more intuitive than their parents are. Just because they can't talk and they don't have all of the verbology and the vocabulary, kids pick up on their parents. Do you want your kids to get the coronavirus? No? Then get your shit together. Now. Because if you don't do it for yourself, and you keep on in this frenzy and panic and worry, you're going to template it to your children, and they're going to get it. Understand something. In order for you to receive something, you must send out the proper frequency. The way to deal with this is to establish a frequency within you. But first of all, you got to find out who the hell you are. And most of you right now don't know who the hell you are. You don't. You have no idea how you think. You have no idea how you react. You have no idea what you're putting in, what you're taking out. Some of you are so bad, spending time alone by yourself would kill you, literally. Because you're so entertainment stimulated that you've got to be in a constant state of stimulation all the time. You are an open candidate for this type of thing. This is why another event that's happened, which I mentioned in my previous video. The condition of the average citizen right now, the physical health of the average citizen, doesn't even come close to the health, the immune system, and the endocrine system of a healthy adult 30 and 40 years ago. Every decade, it has been dropping down and down and down and down. It has. This is why we're attracting these situations to us. The opportunity has been given to us and is being given to us to change that now. You have the time. You have the opportunity. No one is going to starve. No one is going to do without. Your governments are going to supply you with all of the wonderful things that you need to sustain yourself. And they're going to give you money back that they took from you to do so, because they got caught with their pants down. And be assured that once this is all said and done, guess what's going to happen? They're going to want all that money back through taxation. All right, just keep that in mind. So now's the time for all of you to get a handle on yourself, get your shit together, find out who you are, what makes you tick, what your hang-ups are, what your illusions are, what your positive things are, what your creative things are, and the things that you need to address, and take a look at it, and then do something else. The one thing that I do is a lot of self-analysis. And I get issues. And they're not major ones, but I still get issues. They're personal. And I'm addressing them. And the one thing is that I can say for sure, I have no problem with the situation as it is. People now have been ordered to, seclude themselves and stay home. I've never had that problem. I like being at home. I couldn't care less if I went out there. There's nothing out there that really excites me anymore. I've been there, done it all, seen it all. We're ready for change. It's that simple. So getting to know yourself, who you are, what you're doing, is the greatest asset you have at this time with the opportunity that you have. And if you have children and you're doing what I'm suggesting to you here, you're going to template that to your children. You will. So the opportunity is presented to you. Don't be concerned about what you're going to do. Do something for you. And at the same time, do something for your children. When you do this, the chances of you attracting this virus become minimal because you're at a state of vibration that is emanating differently from you at this particular point. Some people say, well, maybe there's a frequency or a vibration or a meditation that I can do. I don't really recommend any of those things at this particular point because of the situation that's going on. I just call it reflection, if you will. Just spend some time with yourself. Relax. Take a look and see how you think, how your personality is. Do an analysis of your personality. Are the things that are like you about yourself, or things you're not really wild about? Then correct yourself. Have dialogue with yourself. Get to know who you are. Get to know what makes you tick. And then if you want to change something, now's the time, because the opportunity is being presented for you to do that. Mark my words. Mark my words. And I say this with the greatest of conviction. When this is all said and done, the economy is not going to return to where it was. It's going to be different. Because that system no longer can address the needs and the evolutionary process of the population in general. So the economy has to change and move to a much more stable and environmentally friendly state of consciousness, and it's going to do that. It's going to do that. And that's what this is all about. So if that helps you out, one more thing. The most important part right now is breathing. If you find yourself in a stressful situation, you find yourself being anxious, or you find yourself in a panic, whatever, just take a minute, just sit down, relax, lay down if you want. Just take a few deep breaths. Just do this. It's all you need to do to kind of get yourself balanced out again. Just breathe in through the nose and exhale it simultaneously out through the mouth. Do that 5 or 6 times, and you'll notice very quickly the energy will change within you, and you'll be able to move up into a much higher state of consciousness. It will come easily for you because the majority you have been prepped for it. Meditation, long periods of meditation, not necessary. Listening to vibrational beta and theta beats and all that shit, chimes, bells, and whistles and all that crap, that's not necessary. That's entertainment. That's all that is. Breathing, okay, something you do automatically, is something you need to pay attention to right now. Breathe, people, breathe. Look what's been supplied, all the fresh air you can friggin' use. You can actually go outside and breathe. So, how's that grab you? Take care, because I care.